All right, so there's the earrings. Now we're gonna do links. I like to use half hard wire. I like really stiff wire, so that's why I like head pins for links, or German wire. German wire comes in a little coil, and it's very stiff. It's silver plated, half hard copper wire, and I do like to use that too for links. So, but we're going to use the head pins. So we're going to start by making a wire wrap loop like we did in the last video. We're going to go down about an inch, and we're going to bend it over to a 45-degree angle. We're going to take our round nose, we're going to put that right in the corner, clamp down on it, take this up, over, and down. We're going to take out our round nose, put it in as far as it will go, and then we're going to watch where we do this. So I've got that like that. Okay, now I'm going to just hold on to it with my round nose. I'm going to grab my chain nose, and I'm going to do 3 wraps. So the first one, we over direct back behind, and we come and we pull straight out. Take a look at it, push it down if it needs to be. Okay, so now we're going to do 2 more. And the wrapping is, this hand stays stationary. It's 1, 2, 3. If you go even a little bit more, you're starting to create another wrap, and we're in a spiral. So if you stop right at the side like that towards you, it creates a more even surface for your bead to sit on. It won't make it all kind of cockeyed. And then 3. Why do I do 3 wraps? Because the tips of my chain nose usually won't give me even the minimum is 3 wraps. So 2 wraps, yeah, sometimes you can get that, but sometimes you can't. So there's my loop and my nice wraps. I'm going to come in here and clip that. So you want to get that wedged in there really close. Snip it off. Always remember to, that little piece sticking up, we want to bend that down. So we're just going to get that into our chain nose, and we're just going to squeeze that in. Okay, so there we go. Now, I'm going to take off the head of my pin here, and I'm going to put on a bead. Okay, so now we're going to make the link. So we're going to do the exact same thing as what we did to the top of our earrings here. But we want our links, we want our loops to be facing in the same direction. Right? We don't want one going this direction, one going the other direction, unless you really mean for that to happen. Sometimes you need to do that to make a clasp face the right direction. But we're going to hold this with the side of our loop showing. That's what we want. We want to see the side. We don't want to see a loop facing us. We want to see the side. It doesn't matter what side it is. We just want a side. Now I'm going to take my pliers, and I'm going to place the very tips right on the bead. Right on the bead, just like that. I'm going to take my finger, I'm going to bend it over to a 45-degree angle like that. We're going to hold it. We're going to pick up our round nose. We're going to put the bottom jaw on the mark. Right there. Oh yeah, you should mark your pliers too. I'm assuming that you watched my first video. So if you didn't, it would be good for you to watch my first wire wrap video to know what, I'm sorry, I left out a lot of stuff. So now we're just going to smooth this up, over, and down. We're going to take our jaw and put it in. And now we're going to come in here. We're going to cross that over, like that. Straighten everything out. Hope I have enough wire here. Okay. So now I'm just really I have to really conserve on my wire here. So I'm going to over direct around. I might have messed up my loop a little bit. Okay, let's see here. Too worried about not having enough wire. So there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, now on your second side, it's not as important to have 1, 2, 3, because if you happen to have left a little more space than you did the other side, by all means, take that wire up and fill in any gap that's in there. I don't have one, but if there is one, you should just take it and fill it, because the space is already there. Fill it with wire, bring your wrap in, and okay, so now I'm going to clip that. Okay, and then I'm going to tuck this in. All right, I kind of got that second loop wonky, but you get the idea. Kind of bad when that looks. Okay, so there's our first link. Okay, so now we're going to do another one. We're going to link it together. We're going to link it as we go, and these become permanently linked together. So I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to pick up another one. So I'm just going to go ahead and just make my loop. I'm not going to explain every little thing again. Okay, so now this time we're here. I'm going to go ahead and cut that end off of there. Okay, so now we're here. This is when you link it in. Okay, so when you get to this part, just before you're going to wrap it, you click this into your link, your other little bead. Okay, so we're just going to ignore this. Ignore this. Your bracelet, whatever it is going to be all hanging over here. We're going to ignore that. We're still going to take the same steps. We're going to put our round nose right between the bead and the wire now. We still want to hang on to our loop. I'm going to take my chain nose. I'm going to over direct again. That's the little trick that gets your wraps perfect. Okay, you should look, when you're a beginner, you should look back behind just to make sure that they're, I like nipping problems in the bud in the beginning instead of waiting till I've finished and then try to make it look good. Okay, so see, those all are butted up against each other. They look great. Take this off. Clip our wire. Tuck it in. All right, and we're ready for our next bead. What color? What color should I do? I'll do blue. All right, we put our bead on. All right, ignore this stuff. We're still looking at just the link that we're working on. So again, I want to see the side of my loop, okay? So I've got that facing me that way. I'm going to take my pliers, very tips, like that. 45-degree angle. Bring the jaw into the corner there, clamp down on it. I support my thumb on this, bring this up, around, and down. Take this out, put it in as far as it will go. Bring this around and look at what you're doing. All right, now we're going to take this off. Make a little handle to grab onto. Over direct, come around, check it, make sure it's in the right position. You can squish that down a little bit with your plier if you want. Grab my little handle again. This is where a little handle is really important when you have such a short amount of wire. You don't have enough to work with. So we come around. Now this is starting to lay on top of my bead. When I see that, I stop right away. And now I'm going to just pinch that in, and that just scooches everything in. And then I'm just going to bring it around just a little bit more. Clip it off. Tuck it in. And then we have a link. There, they're starting to link it together. So again, you're just going to, I'm going to do this really quick one more time for you. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off now. Okay, we're going to 45-degree angle, round nose, bring it up, over and down, switch your jaws, cross that, make sure it looks like a lollipop. Don't wrap it, click it into your work here. All right, leave that hanging off to the side, put your round nose right in between your wire and your bracelet. direct. There's one, push that in. 2. Yikes. If you're not used to using your left hand for work like this, try to get used to doing it. I hate putting stuff down, picking it back up just to use my right hand. So you get used to using your non-dominant hand. Okay, so then we're just going to clip that. Tuck it in. Put on our bead. What color do I want? I want yellow. Okay, again, side of your loop, tips of your chain nose right on the bead. 45-degree angle. Now, if I was at the end of my bracelet and I wanted to put my clasp on now, remember to not finish this loop if you want to incorporate your clasp in with your wrapped loop. If you do accidentally wrap it, then you'll have to use a jump ring. But let's just do this as if we're not done yet. Direct, come around. That's right where it needs to be. Okay. The pliers are missing something here. They won't open like I like them to. All right. Scrunch that in a little bit. Snip it. Oh, I need new cutters. These are kind of chewed up. Okay. I always say buy cheap tools to use. I mean, like not dirt cheap, terrible cheap, but inexpensive ones. But don't scrimp on a good cutter. Get yourself a good cutter and make sure it's a flush cutter, because all the other cutters leave burrs, and that's a jagged little end, and they just make a mess of things. So there's our links. Look how pretty that is. Now here's another reason why I only do 3 wraps. Because when you do a bracelet, you want it to conform to your wrist. You want it to nicely wrap around your wrist. If these are really long, then they become like these big boxy things that just sort of, it doesn't work out right. So that's another reason why I like 3 wraps. It's easy and consistent. It works well. It looks nice, and it's easy to do. So I hope you liked this. I hope you learned something from it. And check out my other videos. Thanks so much, and have a great day.